Today we'll be talking about how we define quality in online courses. As we've talked about before, quality online courses are always going to have the things that we have here. They're very well organized, they have very clear expectations for the students, there's consistent formatting and organization. The courses are going to be accessible. So that includes all the content, all the learning technologies are going to be accessible to your students. The students are going to be engaged. So how you design the class, the learning activities, they're going to pull the students in. You're going to have built a community of learners to help keep the students engaged in the course, not just with the content, but with each other to persist to the end. And really it comes down to making sure that we have really strong alignment throughout our courses so that our learning activities align with the competencies, the course evaluations, or excuse me, the assessments will align with those competencies, and so on. Every stage of the course has been created and tuned so that each step along the way guides the student, helps them learn, acquire the information and the skills they need to meet those competencies. And that's what really will make that course high quality. So how do we go and decide what's good? Well, there are three slides I'm going to show. The first is an organization called Quality Matters, QM. So this is from their website. Their mission is to promote and improve the quality of online education and student learning. They're a fantastic group to work with. They have Quality Matters rubrics for K-12, higher ed, and publisher materials for both K-12 and higher education. They have rubrics that are continually updated and revised through collaboration, so they maintain that quality. They basically look at the best practices and they make sure that the rubric is consistent with the current understanding of online teaching and learning and how to best serve our students. They do have formal and informal reviews, and to use these rubrics, your institution will, or you as an individual will need to have some sort of membership to use them. Now you can go through and look at each of these rubrics. They have a summary of the rubrics, but the rubrics themselves are very detailed and they have explanations of what they mean. So to really understand and be able to use them, you would want a membership. But I know not everybody has that. They do have professional development for members, and they also on their website have some free webinars for their non-members. So if you want to check them out, they're at qualitymatters.org. Just one more slide about their rubrics. This is an example or just some information from the higher ed rubric. Really, they look at all parts of the course, those learning activities, assessments, your course materials, your learning activities, the learner interactions, and your technologies, and they make sure that they're aligned so that the students can achieve the course outcomes. They have 8 general standards, and each of those standards is then broken down into smaller parts. But you can see I have listed out the 8 standards, but they include all of those parts that they're looking for that alignment. So they really focus on the outcomes, and they just want to make sure that everything that you've chosen to put into your course makes sense with your end goal. Another place you can look at online quality for your online classes is the Online Learning Consortium's quality scorecard. So the OLC is a great group if you're looking for professional development, and then they also have this quality scorecard. So this looks at course level quality. It's a rubric that you can use to review and improve your instructional design and accessibility, and they're using again those best practices. They have 50 instructional design and accessibility standards, and they're really trying to target the aspects of the course that need improvement. So it's not like, I think it fits that model that you're going to be continuously improving your class to meet the standard. So it is free to download, and they do look at your course overview and information, your course technology and tools, your design and layout, your course content and activities, the interactions for the students within your course, and your assessment and feedback methods. So I have a shortened URL here if you want to go directly to that free scorecard, and it's definitely worth checking out. All right. The last rubric I'm sharing today is the one done by Chico State University out in California. So this is the rubric for online instruction. Like the OLC rubric or scorecard, it is free to download and use, and it has 6 domains that include looking at the learner support and resources, your online organization and design, your instructional design and delivery, the assessment and evaluation of student learning, innovative teaching with technology, so those tools, and the faculty use of student feedback. So if you'd like to check out the Chico rubric, you can use this shortened URL down here at the bottom. And again, this URL was made with Bitly, which is a great URL shortener if you're looking for one. All right, the next thing I think of when it comes down to course quality is the online course syllabus. So students, faculty, you kind of love or hate your syllabus. In the online course, the syllabus becomes very crucial. For quality matters, and the other rubrics, many of your quality standards are addressed within your syllabus. You set your course expectations, you identify your course policies, and you're basically creating the guidebook or the instruction manual. If you think of your course as a game, it's the instructions so that the students can get through the game or your course successfully. You'll want to make sure you identify all the resources that are available for your students to get support. And so remember that they're online students, and the supports that are in place need to be able to help them. So the technology help they can get, the student services. You really need to try to focus on online supports that you have for your students. If they're missing at your institution, you need to talk to people and really encourage the creation of those supports to help your online learners succeed. So they should be able to, get remote help from your technology help desk, student services, mental health, all kinds of things. How can they talk to financial aid, counseling services, everything that they could have in the face-to-face classroom? What supports do they have when they're online and potentially not able to come on campus? So if you're looking to spice things up, you could consider a non-traditional syllabus. So 2 tools that you can look at. Right here we have Popular Me and Pictochart. Both of these offer kind of like a one-page or one-look web-based syllabus. So these are tools that you can use for other things, but faculty have used to create syllabi. And if you want to check them out, you can possibly do it. The idea is to create a syllabus, and I don't have an example that I'm showing within this presentation. I will add one. I'll make one of my own and I'll add it for you to see. The idea is that if you create your syllabus in an online medium, when you go to make updates and revisions, it's living. Like you can go in, log in just like a website, and you're going to make updates, and it will be updated immediately in any place that you link to your syllabus. So it's really nice if you're tired of changing your syllabus semester to semester. You want something that looks fresh and something that you think the students will take a look at. Definitely consider those 2 tools. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is the role that student feedback plays. In a face-to-face class, often student feedback comes at the very end of the semester. It's great, but sometimes when you get it, you're like, oh, I wish I had known. Online courses are no different. You can use student feedback to identify areas of student confusion, where they're struggling, maybe just things that are not connecting for the students. When you are able to identify where the students are challenged, you can go back and revise and update your course to help get rid of that. It's definitely recommended that you add feedback checkpoints throughout your course. So it's easy enough to add a mid-course update or checkpoint, feedback point, and the end course. So you have at least 2 points that you can work with. The nice thing about a mid-course update, you might identify a tool that the students are having trouble with. You might identify reasons why the students are not participating in your discussions. And it could be related to how your course is designed, and it could be something really as easy as making say, the discussions more accessible by having a direct link in your course main menu. Or it could be that the students are struggling because they actually need some student resources. And then you can use that mid checkpoint to help connect those students with the resources available at your institution, and then hopefully get them back on track for success. So that's the nice thing of the mid course checkpoint. But as far as student feedback goes, you can make your end course feedback and your mid-course feedback specific to your online class. You should make sure that the questions you are asking will help you understand what is helping the students succeed, and maybe places where you can make modifications to make the course better overall. So on the screen here, I have crossed out, you need to think carefully about how you ask your feedback questions. So don't say, which activities did you enjoy? Because they'll just tell you all the stuff that they hated. No student will love every aspect of your course. So just get ready for that. I think we're all pretty used to it. But instead, phrase your questions so that you're getting feedback that helps you with these quality components. So asking questions, how easily could you access the following course materials? And then list everything, and then have them do a Likert scale where they're maybe ranking if they could get the textbook, if it's an ebook or not, like how easy was it for them to download? How frequently did they view your video lectures? That can help you figure out, what they're actually using, and maybe if you need to add more things or take things out that aren't working. Which activities did you find the most engaging? And then let them tell you which ones they like. You'll find there's a range. Some students love the discussions and some students hate them. We keep them in because we know they help our students stay engaged. And for the students that they don't work with, there are other activities that will help those students as well. And then another question you might consider is something like, did you attend office hours? If no, what were your reasons? And then maybe have a checkbox. So there's lots of reasons why students don't attend. They might not need the help, but it could be that maybe the office hours you have scheduled are too rigid and they can't attend because of work or other courses. So maybe you can come up, if you identify some easy reasons, maybe in your next offering you'll have some flexible office hours, or you'll really encourage students to make office hours by appointment. Sometimes they don't realize that they can contact you for that extra help. So that's how feedback can be useful in thinking about the quality of your course and your future updates and revisions. The last thing, I'll just end and say that online course development is a continual process. It's never a one and done task. I don't think I've ever taught a single online class exactly the same way from one semester to another. So with that, I'm just going to say good luck and happy modifying.